Have you ever had the moment where you're just watching something or you're reading something and you go, I love this so much. It is so amazing. The characters are great. I love the music. The dialogue is awesome. Everything is awesome. This is amazing. I want to write now. I want to go make something that's this good. Have you ever had that moment? I've had that moment a lot. A lot. And that's one of the reasons why I love to write. But have you also had the moment intertwined with that one and you see something and you're watching it, you're reading it, and it's so amazing? You go, I want to make something that good. Can I? Can I make something that good? Probably not. Well, that, my friends, is a lie, and I'm going to break it right now. Yes, you can make something that good, and I'm here to show you how. Welcome, Scribes of the Extraordinary, and today we're going beyond entertainment and diving deeper into the craft of storytelling by taking another look at Kpop Demon Hunters. Because it's so good, I'm talking about it for the third video in a row. So today, I'm going to tell you why this movie was so successful and how you can copy it. Yes, my friends, I'm giving you permission to steal someone else's homework. Go rewatch this movie, go rewatch other successful movies, go reread successful books, steal their homework. You can make stories that people will obsess over with these 5 easy steps. Step number 1 as to why this movie was so well done. Before I get into that, I'm going to go into a little bit of technical things with a story. So if you don't know much about the film industry or specifically the movie theater industry, movies make their most money on their opening weekend. Period. People know whether a movie is going to be a success or a failure based off of its opening weekend, and typically a marketing campaign is going to be half of a movie's budget. So if you saw that a movie made $50 million on its opening weekend and you're like, oh, the budget's $100 million, they'll be fine. Actually, their entire budget is more likely to be $150 million because they put that much money into marketing. So they didn't make half of their money back on opening weekend. They made a third of their money back on opening weekend. And opening weekend is the most important weekend, the weekend where they're going to be making the most money. Every movie follows this. However, Kpop Demon Hunters, recently the views have come out for it. It has gotten more views every weekend it's been out. Its audience is growing. Its viewership is getting stronger. It's not just adding views, it's surpassing the viewer count of the previous weekend, multiple weeks in a row. That is wild. That is entirely unheard of. There's only one movie in my lifespan that's really come out and that's done that. And that's with The Greatest Showman. The movie kept being watched by more people each weekend. Opening weekend, there was like no one in the theaters. I think my family went to go see it 3 or 4 weeks after it came out. And it was so good, my dad and I went back the next day within 24 hours to watch it again. And both times the theater was packed. A month after the movie came out, that's unheard of. So why were these stories so successful? I'm going to share with you today the 5 reasons why these movies are so successful and how you can steal their homework. Number 1, relatability. These stories were relatable. Kpop Demon Hunters. The whole story is about hiding your scars, hiding the shameful things that are a part of you that you don't want to come to light. Everyone has secrets. Everybody has secrets. So seeing someone go through hiding their secret to confiding in someone else about their secret to finally opening up and showcasing this is who I fully am, that is so relatable. That is a story that resonates deeply with pretty much everybody. You want to choose stories that are going to be relatable to people. Even if you are making a idol who fights demons and is awesome and is topping the charts for the last 5 years in a row, they said in the movie. They are the pinnacle of success. They are at the very top. That's really hard to relate to. You know what's easy to relate to? Hey, yeah, I can't do that today because I'm dealing with stuff from my past that I don't want to tell you guys about or make you privy to because I'm afraid you'll judge me or disown me or leave me if you find out. That's relatable. So, my friends, write relatability into your stories. That is the first thing that you can steal from this movie. Thing number 2 that you can steal from this movie is a simple plot. I have a little secret for you guys. Every plot under the sun has been used already. Multiple times, in fact. You will not be writing a story that is so brand new and fresh that people are like, I've never heard this story before. You can use the exact same plot as your favorite movies. Why? Because a plot is the steps in a story. The hero's journey is a great example of, well, transformation of a nobody into a hero. So many stories follow this rhythm, this structure. Stories are all pattern based. If you are a student of storytelling, you'll be able to tell things coming in a movie or in a book before you even get there. My family, I've had fun experiences with my family watching things with me because I'll see things coming, or if the dialogue's particularly bad, I'll be able to quote it even if it's something I haven't seen before. Example of this is I was in the theaters with my family and we were watching one of the new Star Wars movies. Episode 7. I'm not a big fan of the sequel trilogy, so forgive me for not thinking of it quickly, even though I'm a big fan of Star Wars. Anyways, but the scene where, oh my goodness, these characters' names. It didn't stick with me well enough. I don't obsess over the sequel trilogy of Star Wars. But the scene, it was Han and his son. And the scene was red, and then it was blue. And I was like, oh yeah, it's gonna go red, blue, red, blue, red. And then he's gonna kill his dad. And 20 seconds later, that's what happened. And I don't remember who I whispered that to. I think it might have been my dad or my brother. I don't remember who I said this to. But it was really? You figured that out just by the lighting? Yes, I did, because I'm a student of storytelling. I know certain cues coming up and I can foresee things. Use that to your advantage, my friends. People like certain stories because they like those stories. You will have people who like romances, who read romances, and who really like enemies to lovers romance. Take advantage of the fact that plots are simple and use simple plots. So many people can relate to hiding secrets. Look at superheroes. Superheroes all have secret identities. Iron Man, Tony Stark. Captain America, Steve Rogers. Are there any other superheroes that have their identities publicly known? Let me know in the comments below, because I genuinely cannot think of any others. And that's my point, is people can relate to having a secret side of themselves that people don't know. Kind of like an ulterior life, separate life from the ones that people see. People can relate to, I'm wearing a mask in front of one group of people and can take it off in front of another. That's relatable. That's a very simple plot that you've seen everywhere. So take advantage of simple plots. Tip number 3 is know your audience. Kpop Demon Hunters knew their audience. If you know anything about the K-pop industry, if you are a fan of K-pop in any way, shape, or form, I felt like this movie understood the industry. I don't know very much about it, but I do enjoy K-pop. I do enjoy certain music, And I've learned a little bit about it from people who know it a lot better than I do. And I felt like, yeah, this movie knew the industry. It didn't feel like it was cheesy and trying to pretend or stereotype this industry in any way, shape, or form. It felt like it truly got it. I've been to a BTS concert before, which was absolutely wild experience. So that opening where all the fans are obsessively talking about who their favorite member is and they're just swarming into the stadium. I've been a part of that. It's kind of scary. I'm not a big fan of like huge amounts of people. So that was a very much of an experience for me. Although it was really cool. The production value of the concert was amazing and everyone's energy was really high. All the, like, little light sticks, I don't know what they're called, I'm sorry, like, that people have, and the very particular, like, rectangular signs with the name of the band on it. There are all of these little details that I went, "I've experienced this, I've been in this feels, like, realistic. This feels like what a K-pop concert would be." This like, the music video for Golden feels like a K-pop music video, if you've seen any of them. To me, music videos in general are just wild, and then, like, K-pop ones are even more so. Whole different topic. But the point is, they knew their audience. They knew and did the research and brought in the experts how to create a world that felt realistic to the K-pop industry. So when you're writing, do your research. Know the tropes that the people that you're writing for enjoy. If you're writing romance, know the romance tropes. Know that there needs to be the meet cute. Know that there needs to eventually be a falling out and the reunion at the end and all these different things. However, they didn't just know how to make it feel like their audience. They also knew the pain points of their audience. Why Kpop Demon Hunters was so cohesive is it touched on so many problems that you can see throughout the industry as well. And it wasn't overt about it in any way. Just look at the five Saja boys, but look at the four Saja boys that's not Gino. You have Baby, who is, he's the cutesy one of the group, but that's speaking directly to people treating these grown men like, oh my goodness, they're such cute little children. Look at them. They're adorable. Look at the little baby face. Like, these are grown men. That's not healthy. Or mystery of, oh, we can't know anything about you. You have to be hidden and concealed because you're a mystery. And that's alluring. It's like, well, then you're telling someone they can't really be human. And then you have romance. And that whole thing of, oh, you're married to your fans and you can't date or have like a love life because you're betraying your fans. That's that's not healthy either. And then you have Abby, which is this over sexualization of these people. None of that was overtly stated in the movie. None of it was. But if you understand the industry and you could see the little things that they were doing with the characters very subtly and their names, you can put these pieces together. So even though that wasn't like the main theme of the story, that wasn't the story in and of itself, if you know your audience and you know their pain points, you can speak into those things that you know that they struggle with and give them hope for it. You can encourage your audience by knowing them better. Tip number 4 that Kpop Demon Hunters did is everything was on theme. Everything felt K-pop. Everything felt that idol industry. Everything was music. Everything was style. Everything was about secrets and putting on your best face, even though that may not be the face that you should show. Everything was about keeping the perfect, clean persona. That's the theme of the movie. Everything was on theme. And one thing that theme is such a big advantage for you, my writing friends, is when you have a theme, everything falls into place. If you ever feel lost with your story, look at your story and find the theme. If you don't have a theme, you might have several themes. Stories are allowed to have several themes, but you want one central theme to really gravitate to. The books that I'm writing, the central theme is family is power. There's a bunch of different characters who have different interpretations of that. One character is, I have power because of my family name. One character is, I give my family power. I help them be better. One person is, my family gives me power in that because they're around me, they help me get better. The villain is, I take my family's power, in that your family has power and he physically takes it to make his own power. So everyone has a different interpretation of this theme. But because of that, if I introduce a new character or I introduce a new conflict, if it's not really pointing towards this theme, or it's not helping the characters grow towards around this theme, I cut it. When you have a strong theme, you know what to add, you know what to take away, you know what you can take. I love this story, I love this scene, but it has nothing to do with my theme and is not helping my characters grow. We're going to put that over there to save for a future story. Themes will be your guiding light while you write. So steal from Kpop Demon Hunters. Pick a strong theme and stick with it. And now, thing number 5 that you can steal from this movie is going to be the most important one. Craft relatable characters. Build relatable characters. Incorporate your themes, incorporate struggles, everything that ties into relatable characters. People who are relatable are people who feel real. Let's take Huntrix. Huntrix is the pinnacle, top of the top in the industry. They're top charting artists. They're incredible singers, incredible performers. They're probably million, if not billionaires, upper echelon, financial, kind of crazy people. That's not relatable. That's awesome, and that's really fun to watch, but that's not relatable. Going, oh yeah, no, we can't show our flaws. We have to cover everything up. You need to fix the voice. Don't let anyone know that your voice isn't doing well. We need to completely conceal that and make sure that everything's hunky-dory and we have the face and the persona of everything's good. That's relatable. That is so relatable. Feeling like you can't fully be yourself, or you'll be judged, or people will leave you, or you'll be demeaned for it. That's relatable. So you can have these incredibly powerful, amazing, upper echelon kind of characters, like kings of the world kind of characters, and still make them relatable by giving them very human, universal problems that they're dealing with. You can make a story that people will obsess over. I'm going to say that again because you need to hear it again. You, yes, you have the capacity and the capability inside of you to write an incredible story with such deep, rich characters that people will obsess over it. And that is my whole goal for you guys. I've been where you are. I've done the things you're doing. I have, looked at YouTube, listened to podcasts, read books, taken classes. I've done all of the things to learn how to be a writer myself. And even after doing that for years and years and years, I still felt like, what am I doing? This isn't good. Am I actually a writer? I want to bash those fears for you right now. You are a writer if you write. So get out there and write. Steal these 5 things from Kpop Demon Hunters. Make your stories relatable, about relatable, universal human topics. Take advantage of super simple plots. Same plot's been done millions of times. Use it. Go for it. Make it different with your cool characters and your cool world builders, but take advantage of the simple plots. Know your audience. Do your research. If you're going to write a fantasy romance, know how to write a fantasy romance. If you're going to talk about K-pop, know about K-pop before you talk about it. Number 4, have a theme. If you don't think your story has a theme, look at it. Look for what are some universal things that your story's talking about. Pick it, heighten it, emphasize it, focus on it. And then number 5, craft relatable characters. You can make anyone relatable if you give them universal struggles. So yeah, steal those 5 things from Kpop Demon Hunters. Or, whatever books or movies or even video game stories that you love. Look at these 5 things in them. Steal their homework. And if you need any extra help, down in the description below, I have some free resources for you guys. If you don't really understand your writing style, there's a quiz that I developed to help you do that. If you need more help and feel stuck, like you don't know what to do next for your story, for like you just kind of don't know where to go next, I have a resource, a checklist that helps you ask specific questions of your characters to help flesh out your world, but it also helps flesh out what your next steps are, because your character exists in a world, and their relationship between the two is what generates conflict. So you need to understand both, and that resource will help you do that. Well, if you guys liked this video, I'd really appreciate a like and a subscribe. And let me know in the comments below, who's your favorite character in Kpop Demon Hunters, and what element about them do you really relate to and resonate with? I tend to like protagonists, but I really appreciate the struggle that Rumi has of all of this shame for having something, all the patterns on her that she feels like she has to hide. And then when she showcases it to the world, she realizes it wasn't even a big deal. That's why I love this character so much. And the movie's so good. So good. I have several people lined up that I'm like going to watch it with and introduce them to. It's such a good movie. But what about you? Who's your favorite character in this movie, and what aspect of them really resonates with you? Why do you relate to them so much? Well, my Scribes of the Extraordinary, that's all I've got for you today. I look forward to our next encounter as we continue our journey of going beyond entertainment, one step at a time.